Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was talking about node port. So can we do one thing? Whenever I hit to the node port, proxies to be created to the service, because this node know that port IP address because of ETH0 and kube-proxies, they are same mode. So did you understand this? What is the concept here? Did you understand this? Excuse me. Did you understand this?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, so guys, if you have got it, then actually this is the default one. Whenever you create a service, this is the default one. But whenever you create a node port, actually what happened, two things happen. One, cluster IP service get created, and that service only, that service get exposed to each node of the cluster, only cluster. Okay, that is what it happens. So when you create a node port type, then one service like this get created and that service get exposed to the each node of the cluster also. So this is happens with the node port. If you go for the node port, these two things will happen. So guys, did you understand this node port clearly? Conceptually, if you have understood, commands are very simple. I'll show you. Did you understand this?
Yeah.
Now third one, what is happening, guys? Third one is happening. Look at the image. Here what is happening? See here, hitting to the node port, it is not a good idea. How do I remember the IP address? So what I will do, I will not hit the IP address. I need one more load balancer, because in the cluster you have so many services. So I need a load balancer, but this time this load balancer will be outside of the cluster. That means this load balancer will not be balancing the pod but node. Yes, but node. So this time it will be balancing this node and this node. So I don't need to talk to the node also, I need to talk to this load balancer. So I will talk to this load balancer, and this is the load balancer which I am talking about. So here so what happens, in the when you create a load balancer type, there is a one cluster IP get created, cluster IP service get created, and then the service get exposed to the node of the cluster. Also node port get happened, and same time that node, each one external LB get created, and each node of the cluster get load balanced by external load balancer. So did you understand this? The third one, load balancer. Guys, did you understand this third one?
Yeah. Yes.
And after that, here what happens? Here we do not hit the load balancer. Actually, we hit the DNS server. So we hit the DNS server, and DNS server transfer to the load balancer. DNS server where you have a domain name. So this is the entire flow it works. So look at this here. You hit the www.google.com, DNS server translate to the load balancer transfer that to the node port at that certain port, and then from that it get transferred to service to this to this to this. So this is the whole communication happens. If you have understood conceptually, I can help you with the demo also. Are we ready for this? So how many of you are ready for this? Can you please put it in the chat window? How many of you are ready for the demo for the service? Okay, so guys, let's get demo now. So first look at this. This is a workstation. I'll provide you the new IP address for the day. Same machine, but a new IP address. Okay, so now you see here kubectl get pod -n is equal to Rajesh. So I have a deployment actually it's running. Can we do one thing? Can I get rid of this deployment? kubectl delete what? Deploy mydep -n is equal to Rajesh. Now you see there's no pod here. Everything got deleted. Okay, I think I have one more deployment, which is a deploy one. So I deleted both the pod. See here. So everything got deleted. Now what I'm going to do is I am creating one pod. Okay, so I have to go to the HPE and inside that Rajesh, and then here I am going to create a one pod. So kubectl create -f pod1.yaml -n is equal to Rajesh. Now I created one simple pod. I'll create deployment also, but first I'll show you the manually, so you understand the concept very well. So this pod is running. You see here, this pod has IP address wide. This is the one. Can I hit this IP address? Curl HTTP. You see here, it's Nginx. Okay, so now this Nginx is running. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to create a service. The question is, how do we create a service? So service again is a namespace true, guys. Understand that. How to see that whether it's a namespace true or false? You know those commands are already we have spent it. So kubectl what? Create. I don't know what next. H. And can I create a service? See here, I can create a service which is here. So service I can create it, no problem. So can I create a service? So kubectl create and service. After that, I don't know what. See here, available command cluster IP, load balancer, node port. The same thing I explained it to you here. Cluster IP, node port, load balancer. So here, and third one is external name, which I'll let you discover yourself. So here, cluster IP. I'm talking the cluster IP. So what I'm going to do? Cluster IP and hyphen H. And now, guys, I got the command to create a service. Let's understand this command. So this command will create one service. Which service? Cluster IP service, which is a default service. Okay. So here you see cluster IP service type, object name, name of the service, and this first one is the service IP address. So what do you want to keep it? 8080. And Nginx is running on which port? Anyone has idea? Nginx
80.
80.
80. So here you create 80. So this is the first one is a service IP address. In the Docker also -p when you give, first one is external IP address, and second one is a container IP address, a port number. So understand this one. So here 8080 is the service IP address, and 80 is the pod IP address, so container IP address. So here understand the 8080 instead of 8080 you can give anything, but 81 which you're giving depends on your what port your application inside a pod running. But you have to use -n is equal to Rajesh. So are you comfortable with this command? Anyone? Everyone? Everyone is comfortable with this command?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, I am not making you wait. I'm running it. So can I run it? See here. kubectl get svc. Now, what is this svc? So guys, this is I did in the default namespace. So which is this service? So if you can describe and find it out the use of this service, I'll feel very good. So this is your task to find out how come this services exist and what is the significance of this service, what exactly this service is doing, what kind of work is this service is doing. So you have to find it out for me, but for time being I have a service created in the Rajesh namespace. So here -n is equal to Rajesh. Look at this, here I got a service. Look at this type, name of the service, MyCS. Type of the service, cluster IP. IP address of this service, this one. External IP, none. What is the service port? 8080. Created 40 seconds ago. So can I hit this IP address? Look at this. Ping. Nothing. Why nothing? Why nothing? Look at this. Can we describe this service? kubectl describe svc -n is equal to Rajesh. See guys here. Name, namespace, type, IP address of service, service port, target port is load balancing. Do you have endpoint here? Endpoint is something like where that when you hit, see endpoint means what? Endpoint means whenever you hit, see that whenever you hit the service, it should go to the pod, right? Pod IP address, one specific port number, pod IP address and port number. It should go. So this is called endpoint 1, 2, 3. But do we have any endpoints here? Endpoints none. So guys, what should I do? Any idea? See, I have a pod. Okay, look at this here. I have a pod qctl get pods. I have a hello hyphen rc, and we have a service also. But service endpoint is not having any pod. So what do we do in this case? Any idea?
Give the label.
So can I show you the labels? See here, sbc and hyphen show lebls. Spelling mistake actually. Show labels. What is this? Show
minus O.
L. No. Show label is a command actually. SELELABEL. Show label.
You no need to give minus O before show labels.
Oh no. It's not required. Actually, this is the problem here. Describe. It should be get. So look at this. This is the label of service. What is the service name? App hyphen mycs, and this is the label of pod. See here. So what need to be done? You tell me. What should I do? You guide me. I will do that.
The pods label should match in service labels, right?
Pod label should match in the service label. So can we do one thing? I'm copying the software and Rajesh too, which is one of the label, and I am editing the service. Look at this here. Same, you know the command for everything now. You don't have to get scared. Edit which SBC? My CS. I'm directly modifying it. Okay. Edit SBC my CS and hyphen n is equal to Rajesh. So this is the service. Can we go and put the labels here? I added software is equal to Rajesh too. Am I making any mistake, guys? It's not allowing me to save.
Colon, right? Software colon.
Yeah, should be colon. Yeah, correct. See, YAML file is equal to is not supported. So here, and it should be space also. Okay. Done. Edited. Can we check now pods label? Can we check the service label? It's matching. Now pods label is matching with the service label. So can we get the pods describe, service describe? See, endpoint still empty. What is happening? Endpoint is still happening. It's still nil. It's not happen. It's not none. It's not up to date. So guys, I said, yeah, just for discussion purpose, I said pods label should match with the service label, and I also put the stars, remember, so I can correct later. So guys, here in reality it's not like that pod labels matches with the service label load balancer automatically happen. No, what exactly happening is pod label is should match with the selector label. Yes, selector of the service. Look at this here. There is one field which is called selector. So service has a one field which is called selector, which select the pod with certain label we should be matching, not the label of the service. Understand that? Very simple. I'm editing my statement, because at that time if I tell you selector, you won't get confused. So for that, make it easy, I explain it to you labels, but not labels, selector labels. So again I'm writing and I'm telling you the correct statement. if the labels of the pod is matching with the label of selector of the service, then a load balancing happens. So here each service you have a selector field. Selector field, you give the name of the labels, and if the pod labels of the pod is matched with the labels of the selector, automatically endpoint get updated. Are you getting my points, guys?
Yeah.
So here what is happening, look at this here, pod labels as software Rajesh 2 and app web server, whereas the selector label is app-msc myc. Yes, it's not matching. So what I will do, I will match this software and Rajesh 2. Can we do this? So go for it, edit. This time I will modify selector labels. So for that, where is the field?
Down.
Where is that? Selector.
Down.
It's here.
Yeah.
Okay. So look at this here. I will delete this and I say any pod with this label, load balance that pod through the service. Look at this, guys. I just save it. Oh, sorry. Same error. It's not allowing me because of now. See what has happened. So say some error. Let me validate.
App you removed, is that fine?
Yeah, that's okay. It's correct. Yeah, correct. No, that's okay. So here, can I describe this? Yes. Look at this. Did you see the changes?
Yes. Endpoints you are getting.
So now endpoint get updated. So here, guys, endpoint here, this service is load balancing only one pod, but actually what happens, you know, if you have a 10,000 of pod with the same label, it will have a 10,000 of endpoint. Who's managing this, all this discovery? Who's updating all these things? Discovery services. Only one. So now can I do one thing? kubectl get pods -n is equal to Rajesh O white and get svc -o. Oh no, -o is not needed. -n Rajesh. So now can I hit this curl http still it's not accessible? What is the reason?
The
I
port
did
is
correct.
8080.
Yes, port is 88. You got it. So guys, service port is 8080. Don't think like you hit the IP address. If it is 80, then it's okay. But I did it 8080. See, Nginx. This is the pod which is happening. Okay. So now I'll show you little bit different. So here what I'm going to do, I'm creating deployment now. So kubectl, look at my screen, guys. Create -f deployment. I don't know how many pods will get created. Created kubectl get pods -n Rajesh. So many pods, so many IP address, you got it. Now I want to know the labels of the pod. So -, show -labels. What is the labels? So labels is app my dep. So here what I'm going to do is app my dep. I'm going to modify the service. You can have a multiple services, multiple labels also match, but I'm not complicating to begin with, so you'll get lost. So it can be multiple also. So here what I'm going to do is the second. See here, I saved it. Service, okay. And can I describe the service now? See here. Did you see the magic now? Endpoints. Look at the
Yes.
endpoint fields. So guys, the right statement is if the label of the pod matches with the selector label of the service, automatically endpoints get updated of the service, and whatever the endpoint sits there, one of the endpoints random load balancing happens. So when you hit this IP address of the service and the port, it will hit that redirect to the communication to one of the pod for that particular pod. This port, the port can be anything of the service and pod. It depends on your application and what you wish. So guys, this is the service which I was talking about is a clustered IP service. So now, is it clear for everyone? Can you put it in the chat window? If you conceptually got it, click say OK in the chat window if you got it.
Yeah, hi Rajesh, quick question. So can we have a multiple selector label?
Yes, you can have a multiple selector label. So see here, you can have a multiple selector label. Yeah. So here what I'm going to do is editing, and here what I'm saying right now, here where is the selector? Here I'm saying age, sorry, this is app, or let's say pod. It can be key value dv server, dv. Okay, and now you see I updated this, and can I check this here? See here, now it's not matching anymore. Why? Because I have a selector. The pod will select two labels: app is equal to db dep, my dep, and pod is equal to dv. So can we do one thing? Can we apply this new label? So here, let's do this. I don't know which one I used it. Anyone remember dep1 or dep2?
Dep1.
Did I?
It's dep2.
Dep2? I think dep2. Yeah, dep2. So here, what I'm going to do is I am going to
Tap only.
see. No, I have a.
App.
I'm forgetting the things very fast, I guess. That's a problem for me. The label name is pod is equal to db. Pod is equal to db. Okay. So now I will add this labels for the pod specification. Okay. Go to the pod specification. App
It is
equal
on
to
top
db.
only.
Oh, is it? It should be here, I guess. Just a second, guys. This is the deployment level. Don't get confused with this. I'm looking for the pod labels spec. It's here.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
What was that? App is equal to DV, right? Correct now?
Pod is
No. Pod equal
Pod
to.
is equal to. See, I'm so sorry. I'm having nowadays very bad memory. Pod DV. So QCTL apply. I think apply will take it this pod or not. I have to check. Deploy 2.yaml, or you have to new rollout. Yep, it didn't take it up because labels is, yeah, so I modified wrongly. Just a second. Should be here. I modify wrongly. This is a wrong. I should go to here. Yeah, this is right entry. It's a spec. So pod DV. This time we should take it. Done. Can we check this pod now? It did come? Yeah, pod DV. See here, it's deleting the new rollout has happened. So you change the labels, terminating and creating new one. So done. Now can we check the service? See here. Done. So you can do the two label also match selector with this two label. Did you understand this, guys? See, one more thing here, pod may have a multiple labels, but whatever the label selector you are providing, that has to be matched. I don't care what additional labels you have in the pod. I don't care about that. I only care about that it should be matching with the selector labels. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
So whatever
Yep.
selector label is given, the same exact thing has to be matched in that pod label.
Right. Yes.
Should
Yes.
be
Please.
subset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
I can also have maybe two different types of pod. I can have a same service wrapping it around, no, with this behavior.
That's the wrong practice, no, in that
Yeah,
case,
that's
because
wrong practice. Yeah, yes.
yeah.
But I can still have it if I manually do it.
Yeah. Why not? Because you can have it, but that we did a mistake in that case because we should have not labeled it properly.
Okay, I got it.
So Rajesh, so once the labels are matched, so it will be exposed to the nodes, right? Services will be exposed
Sir,
to the node.
no. I did not try. Remember that always never forget. I did try clustered IP. I did not try node port. I will try once you do this stuff. I did not try node port at all. I did not try node port at all. Please understand this.
Okay.
I did not try node port at all. Only cluster port, cluster IP. So, guys, did you try? Did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So all this command, whatever I run, I showed you. I have printed here. All the explanation I made it. A demo is this done. I hope you understand the stuff. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do this with a peaceful mind. All this command you have it here only. Just 10 command. That's not more than that. And you have to do that. And once you complete this, then I will talk about remaining two, which is the node port and load balancer. Okay, so let me update the day 3 notes. Let me stop the recordings.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so when you create this kind of service, which is a node port, it will create one cluster IP which you just now tried it out, and this service get exposed to each node. I said each node of the cluster. That's called node port. Okay, so if you see here, this is my workstation. Now I'm going to create a node port. So kubectl, look at my screen, get svc -n is equal to Rajesh. This is the service, okay, and this service is created by me, which is the cluster IP. Now I'm going to create a node port, and for that, create service, but type I don't know, so type node port, which is here. So node port -h. Now if you look at this here, this is important one. This is the command. Here this is the service port, and this is the container port, 80 pod ports. Okay, now where is the node port? So node port can be customized, but what is happening here is they give you one node port which is available across. Understand that they give you one node port which is available across the cluster. So it is a very good idea to let them decide, because if they can do the work well, so why to interfere in this? Because anyways, ultimately you want to get application up and running, not the port. You can run on any port. So here they will make sure that 30,000 to 33,000 there is a range set for the cluster for the node port. They'll give you any available node port access. So that is a good thing. You can customize also, by the way. So here I'm creating the node port. Name of this service, I am going to make it NS node port. Okay, so my NS is the same thing earlier also. Let me check what is the name of this. My CS, my cluster service. This is a node service, NS. Okay, so name is not matching. So -n is equal to Rajesh. Okay, so here I am creating. Now look at this here. I created. Now one thing is which I want to know is pod label. So for that I forgot actually. Get pods hyphen show labels -n is equal to Rajesh. So the each pod we have got the label, which is this one. I can use this one. You can use one also. That's not okay. That's okay. You can use two also. This is up to you. The label selector should be app -my tab. Okay. So now kubectl get svc -n is equal to Rajesh, and now you see this is the type is node port, name cluster IP. This is the cluster IP. So here I told you, remember again, don't forget, cluster, when you create a node port, it will create a one cluster service IP service also. So which is this one, and again this port is service port, and you see here service port is here, but this is a node port which is granted. So if you describe, then you'll get more data. So kubectl describe svc describe kubectl svc. So kubectl describe svc and kubectl describe svc, and then this one -n is equal to Rajesh. Now here you see here selector is NS. This is the cluster IP address. This is the node port. Sorry, this is the service IP address. Okay, service IP address, and this is the pod port not IP address, it's a service port, pod port. And here this service port getting exposed to service port, which is getting exposed to the pod port, and service port is getting exposed to the node port, which is on this IP address. So you can modify any of these things, but 30106, which has come default, so let it use. So now this is the node port. Now how can you access it? So I have endpoint none. To match the labels, I have to edit this service, and I'm editing the service, and go to the selector, and here what is the name of this app? My dev, saved, edited. Now here, see, the moment I match this, I got this here. So now I'm going to do the kubectl get svc hyphen n is equal to Rajesh, and if I hit this port call http, see here, it should come. No, why is not coming?
We should give the port number.
It should get the port number. Which one?
5678.
5678.
5678. Yeah, you got it. 5678. And guys, wait, software is running. Now which pod has come? You don't know. Which pod has come? You don't know. One of the pod every time is ready. Now this is the inside a cluster, but I want to access outside of the cluster. So for that, I will use the any of the node, including master or worker, any of this, I will use their IP address. And if I hit this IP address, it's coming nothing. Why? Why nothing? Any idea?
Port.
Which one?
3010.
30106. Yeah. So let's hit this. See, I can, one of the pod is accessible for me now. One of this, not because service. So now you see that how we are transferring this. Now look at this here, this image. Look at this. I am here. Sorry. I'm not here. I am here. I hit here. It redirected to one of the service directed pod. This pod will go to this database. So something like this you'll do. So did you understand this node pod concept now?
Yes.
Did you understand the node pod concept?
So like when you create a node port only, it will expose to the outside one, right?
Yes. So what will happen if you read my writing again, please understand. If you set up this node port type, then what will happen? This one cluster IP get created, but same service will get exposed to the node port. That is what I said. At each node of the cluster, at some port. Understood? Everyone?
The IP that you print is actually the worker node, if you know, in the browser. So that's where the
Yes, a worker. You can give any node, sir. Sir, any node, because all the node it get exposed, not one or two, master also and worker also. Let me show you. Here IP address and port number. See, any node of the cluster, because it exposes each node, in master node, worker node, any node. But there is a drawbacks, guys. In this, there is a drawbacks. You won't hit the IP address. Have you hit the IP address? No, you will hit the load balancer actually. So this load balancer is out of the cluster. See here. So which load balancer? We call it external load balancer. So this will be created by whom? So guys, this will be typically you can create using your software, which will see this load balance will balance what? This load balance will balance the node. This service will load balance the pod. This node port is a way to connect the both the load balancer. Understand that. So node port is a bridge between the two load balancer. That's all. Okay. So understand this way. So now in this image, I need a load balancer to be created. So this external service, how can you create that? So actually you can create through command also, but the problem here is I set up my cluster manual ways. In that this cluster has no plugins, AWS plugins installed, and no APIs, key, secret ID and all have given. So this guy will create on behalf of you. So I have to do manually. So this I am showing you manually, but the command line also you can write it, but it will not create the external load balancer. Let me show you. So right now, first I'll copy the content. So history and 10 here to here. Okay, now I am going to type a content. -h. See load balancer. Learn this way only, guys. It will help you. Trust me, because when you are hitting for the certifications and all, no, this will help you a lot. Practice will make you perfect. So here, create service load balancer, where this is the service IP address, this is the pod port. Sorry, this is service port. This is the pod port, and node port and load balancer will be automatically created. Now the question is, load balancer, will it get created? No, the answer is no. Why? Because my the Kubernetes cluster has no access to AWS and has no idea also of AWS, because I set it up manually. To overcome this, what you can do, you can set up a EKS and COPS. You can use set up the cluster with the EKS or COPS. That will do this command will work on that case. You can do manually also, but that's a very complicated process, so we'll ignore it. I'll show you manual. So create. See, I made a mistake here. This I created in the default namespace. So let me delete this. So kubectl delete svc, and I deleted. Now I'm going to create in my namespace -n is equal to Rajesh, and after that create it. So kubectl get svc. Now you see here, oh sorry, svc -n is equal to Rajesh, and now you see here there is a LBS got created. What is the type this time? Load balancer. Please read one more time. This is the last time I'll ask you to read it. When you create a load balancer, what will happen? One service will create from the cluster IP. That service will get exposed to the node port, and the same node port will get load balanced to the external load balancer. So this is the all things happen. You see here, cluster IP, node port, and this external IP is pending. Why this is pending? Because it's pending because of this guy has no access to AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, or any platform where it can access and create a load balancer. So now, can I access this? Curl HTTP. Okay, I have to match this one. What is it? What is it? Label, right? So yeah, I forgot the label again. This is the one, app my dev. So I'm going to edit the service. This I'm doing manually just for your confidence. You know, all this thing can happen in the one command. That is a magical command, but I'm not covering that command. Why? because you need to understand how it works. So when you are troubleshooting, you can troubleshoot each and everything. Otherwise, all this thing happen in just a matter of second. Okay. So here -n is equal to Rajesh. And selector dep, my dep. I did it. And can I just validate one more time? There is got describe svc and -n is equal to Rajesh, and it's done. It's coming. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to list out get svc. Can I hit this curl http dot and what is the port number? 5678. It's coming. Can I hit the IP address with this port 31708? 31708. It's coming. And then this is pending. So what do we do in this case? So this is pending. I will create manually. So I'll show you this one. You won't be able to do that. So load balancer, you'll not be able to do that because you don't have access to AWS. So I'm doing it on behalf of you. So look at my screen. I'm going manually and creating it. What this Kubernetes is supposed to do the same thing, but through APIs call, and they need access. But I have to do through console manually. So you'll understand how I'm creating. So I'm creating a load balancer here. This is the external load balancer. Okay, it's a paid service actually. And load balancer, see one balance, see I'm so forgetting nowadays. This I created long back 5th of August, and since then I've been paying for this, and they charge you $1 or something, I guess, per day. It's very bad. I'm deleting this. So I'll create a new load balancer, and these are types of load balancer: application load balancer, network, classical. I will not get you lost in that. Basically, when you see classic, it's combination of application, network, both. It's a previous generation of load balancer. So that I'll go with it rather than getting lost. Now this is HPE, and here what is a load balancer port? I'll leave it. It's a load balancer port. Understand that 80 only. What is a instance port? Any idea? Can you help me here? What is the instance port? I should put it 80 or something else. Instance port. You can use 30106 also, but here I'm because I created here load balancer, so you can use 31708 also. Both will work. Okay, so which is the load balancer? So 31708, and here that, and here assigning the security groups. Security groups means the firewall sort of thing in AWS we have, and then I am next. I'm open up every port. Okay, check you have to set health check CloudWatch. So this is the port, this is the page. I'll make it reduced, so I don't have to wait for it. And adding instance, so you have to add this load balancer, external load balancer, all the instance where you have the cluster running. So this I'm doing manually, but that command will do that automatically also. So worker, master, worker, only 3 machines, not other machines. Add tags which you wanted, review, this is the review, and create it. So I created manually this thing. So whatever I did through manually through console in front of you, same thing that command might have done it if Kubernetes cluster have access to AWS. Unfortunately, they do not have. Okay. Now this is there. Now go to this here. See here, this is the endpoint of the load balancer. This is the endpoint, a record. Okay. So those who understand the DNS specification, then you will understand this is a record. That means you can hit to this website and you will get that service. Right now, I just want to check how many instances you got up and running. See status, 3 instances I got it running, but out of service. That means health check is reporting saying that nothing is accessible right now. So we'll wait for few seconds. Okay, and I'm just waiting for this. Out of service, it has to be in service. Okay, so if that in service will come, then you can do the rest of the things. See guys, in service has come. Can I hit now this load balancer? So I'm copying this one here and hitting here, paste it, enter, and see. Now I don't know which port it's showing. So see that traveling from where to where. Look at this flow. So here it's traveling from the external load balancer. See here, this load balancer to the node port. From the node port, it's getting directed to the service port. From the service port, one of the pod, and from the one of the pod of application, it redirect to the again service of the database, and thus that database service may redirect to the database. So guys, did you understand the entire flow? Did you understand the entire flow?
Yes.
So this is what we do that. Now you know one thing, you won't remember this. Who cares about the load balancer? So in real time, you will not do that load balancer. Actually, what will happen? Load balancer, you will connect to the DNS service. So let me talk about that one also, just a little bit demo, and you'll get a complete picture. So what DNS means? Domain. So I have a domain service. In AWS, we have a Route 53 service, which is managing the domain. So Route 53 here. Now I have a few domain entries already. You have to buy this domain, $12 it charges AWS. So still loading. It goes slow. So see here, this is the domain service. You have to go to the hosted zone. I have a two domain which is hosting on this account of AWS. Let it load. It's little got slow. You can buy a new domain at a very easy cost. Okay, so here I got this hosted zones. And here at the hosted zone, I have a two domain here. Okay, devopstraining.xyz. So here you're going to create a registry entry. So you have to buy a domain and then create a record, but I am creating record because I have a domain already existing. So here, how to create a record, I'll show you. So this, you will create record here, and simple routing. Here you have all these sections you have to learn about this. Right now I'll go for the simple routing. And here, configuring records, I'm doing the configuring records. Okay, so define simple record, create record, and here I will say HPE setup domain, where it should route to. It should route to load balancer here. And what is the name of the load balancer? Mumbai. And which load balancer? This one. See, I'm more mapped it up now. Now, anyone in the whole world, it takes some time actually to get routed. Anyone in the whole world who will hit this hp.devopstraining.xyz, he will get that page. Okay, now, so this is the way you can link. This takes some time, cache is there. So for that, this takes some time to be effective. So guys, did you understand the whole flow? How do you create it? Did you understand this? So we hit the domain name. Domain name transfer to the load balancer. Load balancer transfer to the node port. Node port from the service. Service to the pod. Pod to the again as many services, whatever you have. So typically you have so many services. All the services will be inside a cluster, but only one front-end services will be there, which is exposed to the node port. So basically what you need is one load balancer, more or less. Make sense, guys? Did you understand the overall stuff?
Yes.
Any questions?
Rajesh, this is for AWS deployment, right? So actually, if we if we deploy the Kubernetes cluster in our local on-prem infrastructure, so how actually those things will be done?
Then you need to have a static IP address. Then
Okay.
that's also no same process, ma'am. See here, load balancer. This is the managed services. But if you have on-premise infrastructure, then you will set up a load balancer through some software like Edu. See, I forgot the name. Load balancer. Edu. What is this? Balancer software. Okay, I completely forgot. You can use Nginx also, simple load balancer, or you can use Eureka also. Eureka is a good software. So this Eureka. You can use so you can use Joule also, G-U-U-L-L, and Eureka also. So if you have on-premises, you need a static IP address from your ISP provider. You get it. Anyone can get it by paying 200 to 300 rupees bucks extra. Even you can get the IP address by 300 rupees extra per month.
Okay.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan, and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.